Hi, I'm Joke Hoetmer. And the question being, who is Joke? I'm a woman, well, in mature age and with a lot of life experience. I've never taken myself seriously, but I do take life serious. But even more so, I take life seriously to the people around me. I take it very much on board, what effect I have on everybody around me. And this has been something that I've been very sensitive to even as a child. Always aware of my parents, my siblings, even though I was the second youngest of 6 girls. It was always important to me what people were feeling, and I was always sensitive to that and always finding out how I can improve that. Brave&Bright was born out of a very strong mission of helping people to find their brightness, their true authenticity, their true self. As I've realized that a lot of people still walk around, or most of us still walk around with our pain, our unmet needs in our childhood, our trauma that happened because life happens. And it's because I've gone through so much myself, I have realized that people don't actually talk about it. It's quite scary how much pain people are in and how that affects you the rest of your life. And Brave&Bright is a mission that I woke up to coming to the UK 6 years ago, and I realized that I had to do something. I gave up everything, sold everything, came to the UK with just a suitcase, and then I realized that I've got to figure this out. But having so much pain by losing 4 loved ones within a period of 4 years, a lot of money, a business, everything else, and then re-establishing myself to getting back on track and having a house again and a car and working, and my family was sorted, and I realized that there's more to me. There's more to me than just working. And I came to the UK and realized that this was a journey that I had to discover what I had to do. And Brave&Bright is, you don't have to take this long journey. Because things are so much faster. I mean, we're living in a world of instant. Everything is instant. So why do you have to wait your whole life when you're nearly 70 to start your life and to know your journey and to shine brightly? I am now at that space that I finally found it, and I'm not giving up to show the people their brightness and how to get there, finding their truth, finding their uniqueness within their family, within their childhood, within their workspace, and go for it. I foster cared 6 children, which I say are my children because I'm still in contact with them. Brother, sister, brother, sister, brother, sister. So it was, and I had 2 of my own. So I was a single mom with 8 teenagers at a time in my house. Single, not because I chose it, circumstances and everything, but I learned then how individual these children are, even my own 2, how different they are. And I was put into many, many challenging situations where I had to deal with each one separately and differently. And especially because I had different backgrounds. It was sometimes, it was quite interesting. And this is all part of the stories that I'm going to be telling, because how I discovered, so I started coaching individually my children, but also coaching myself. And those days, it wasn't as if there's internet and Google and all these coaching programs. It was a self-taught and very much going to my gut instincts and finding the truth in my faith and finding the truth in the situation. So everything I do, I don't care about the past. I don't care about the reality. I care about the truth. And that is where I find that I'm working towards helping other people to find their truth in whatever way. And when it gets to children, we do it through play therapy, through different systems in different ways. And with adults, it's so much easier. Give them the safe environment and help them to experience that it's okay to be real. My purpose in life, wow. For 2 years ago, I collapsed and I ended up in hospital. And for a week, they didn't know what was going on with me. I was totally out of it. It was quite scary because my son said to me, that they thought I was actually dying. But what I realized there is, if I die now, because they couldn't find out what was wrong with me, if I die now, everything I've learned is for nothing. I mean, I had so much to give. And I actually saw sorry for this, but it's true. I saw my gravestone and saying, here lies Joke Hoetmer. Birth date, end date. What difference did I make? I feel we all need to make a difference from who we are. And I jumped in on this bandwagon thinking, now I'm going to make a difference. I'd already been in the UK for 4 years. Now I must find it. And then my journey to find that is amazing. And that's where I'm at now. As I said, my coaching journey is very much of self-experience, a lot of experience. Nobody can take away experience. It has been very, very phenomenal, the reactions that I've had and the results that I've had. Even though at that stage I had no official coaching. Now I've got different coaching courses that I've done, and I've done different techniques, and so it's been a continual learning, and it will always be continual learning, because the thing is, you and the person sitting next to you is different, and each person needs to be treated individually. And that's what's important to me. It's because I can't put everybody in the same box. We're all different. And I do say that the coaching is a passion that comes naturally. People feel it. They feel the love. They feel the acceptance, even if they don't accept themselves. And they feel safe. The rest just happens naturally. It's like something like, I don't know if I should say this, it's like having sex. You don't plan it. It just happens, and it happens naturally. And if you overthink it, it doesn't work. Just let it be. Coaching is like that. Just let it, sorry about that, but let's just be normal and just be. It'll happen. I believe in that. The more you want your truth and to shine brightly and to get to your purpose, or your children or your family's purpose, to get the answers, the easier it gets. My advice for people suffering from trauma is, don't hide it. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't blame. Don't cover it up. It's like a tortoise just going into a shell. Don't do that. Come out with it. Talk about it. In a comfortable environment. Because once you have discussed or even said it, or what you feel, or where you're at, once it's in the open, the pain is gone. The stigma's gone. Everything just falls back into place, and that you can move on. I was a victim for many, many years. You don't have to be a victim of your trauma. When it gets to grief, of that kind of trauma, it's got to take its course. Grief has 5 stages. But when you go through those 5 stages, you can speed it up by taking the edge and the sting away from it. I know it is tough. I've done it. I've lost 2 sons and a loved one. Trauma actually affects your capabilities, mental health-wise, your body. Everything stands still with trauma. I started getting sick with all the trauma. And I do believe the time I collapsed in hospital was because of the trauma. I hadn't faced with it. So there's no trauma that cannot be healed. We just want to. So my advice to somebody having trauma of any level, of any size, I mean your trauma and somebody else's trauma is so different, but for you it is bad. That is what needs to be addressed. It's about you, and you are important. You are important to me. So I'd love to help. From a child to the adult, to the elderly. I've had people coming to me that, well, in their 80s and have never got over the trauma of losing a child. And within one session, gone. I've had people coming with depression. They come for depression, then we recognize it's trauma. I had trauma as a child of 3 to 5 that I never knew until I was 54. Once I recognized it, I started moving on. The thing is, we don't have to wait so long. The moment we realize something is stopping you or blocking you from getting to where you want to be, that is when you address it. So yes, embrace your trauma. Find it and snap right out of it. It sounds lighthearted, but it is that easy. If you just go through the techniques that I'm willing to share. Raw and real is, I believe, that if you're not raw and real with yourself, you cannot actually experience the healing. So by me being raw and real on the videos, going out there and I don't even know who's watching. It's not easy. It's not easy. But you know what? I've realized that is real courage. Because if you could be raw and real, you've got courage to face anything. You've got courage to face your past, to face the lies, to face the trauma, to face the bad experiences and the good. Because life is not just bad and the good, but to be able to define it. Again, it comes down to knowing your truth and walking in it. That's why I am adamant, and I'm quite addicted to my raw and real videos every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock UK time, because I feel I get a release by letting it open up. And even if I cry, it's okay, because you know what? That's about being raw. That's about being real. And by that, I think everybody is encouraged to come and be that with themselves. That's why I do raw and real. Hope to see you. Click on the buttons. Whatever. Bye.